So I'm going to start in the Shavasana, so it's a lying down position. So some people find it more comfortable to have your legs up like this, more comfortable on the knees, the hips and the lower back, or if you're comfortable, coming down, bring your legs nice and flat. I'm just going to take a moment to get present with our body and notice how it feels in the mat. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose because it's nice and warming. Oh, thanks. Deep breaths. And notice your heels in the mat and the lower parts of your back pressed into the mat, and your shoulders and the top of your head touching the mat. You're just observing the natural pattern of your breathing at the moment. So this isn't the time to be thinking about your to-do list, and what you've got to do today, or what you've been doing last night, if anything annoyed you last night. I want you to bring your attention back to your breath and become present with your body. Make sure you're using your diaphragm, so your chest is rising along with your rib cage as you breathe in. Making space between each rib on the inhale, getting that oxygen in. And slowly exhaling, feeling your belly rise and fall. Bring you back now. We're going to, on the next inhale, we're going to bring our arms over our head. And on the exhale, our right knee comes into our belly or chest. So begin to wake up the body and mobilize. Bring the knee out and in. But keep your hips steady on the mat, so your hips aren't moving, it's just your knee. It's a little rock side to side as we begin mobilizing the full body. We might flex the foot forwards and backwards and the ankles as we warm up the ankle joint. So bring it into circles. Then you can grab behind the leg and we're going to straighten it as much as what feels comfortable. We're not stretching or anything, we're just mobilizing. We're not forcing anything. Inhale, returning the leg, arms overhead. And the next exhale, we're going to do the same with the other leg. Rocking forwards and backwards with that knee ever so slightly. Having your arms do the work. Let's use that ankle forwards and backwards motion of the foot. You can grab underneath the leg and let's straighten the leg a little bit more. Inhale, arms rise, returning the leg. And on the next exhale, we're going to bring both legs in to the belly area. We can rock side to side, keeping your tailbone onto the floor. You can rock over to one side and use your hands to bring you up into a seated position. Any seated position is fine. I'm using the lotus pose. I'm going to start with seated mobilization. So left arm comes over across. I'm going to bend at the elbows. We inhale and exhale as we reach over to the sides, feeling a stretch. Nothing too much like discomforting. We're not forcing anything. Inhale back to center and exhale the other side. Inhale back to center. Right arm over to the front. Left arm comes round, leading with the heart and the shoulders, twisting round on the exhale, and then if that feels okay, you can go ahead and move the neck round, looking at the back of your shoulder. Inhale back to center, now the other side. Sitting tall, exhale as you twist, leading with the shoulders and the heart, and then the neck last. Inhale back to center. Exhale, we're going to walk the hands out ever so slightly, whatever feels comfortable for you. Inhale back to center. Arms come round the back, facing, hands facing out, opens the chest nicely, chest proud. We're making sure we've got tension in the neck, we're not just having the head relax backwards. It can cause some whiplash. So we're not going all the way back. Feeling that little stretch in the chest and shoulders as we open up the heart. I'm going to do that again. Inhale back to center, sitting tall. Left arm bends more this time. Exhale. A little bit deeper stretch if that feels good. Feeling the stretch between the hip and the ribs. Shoulders down away from ears. 2 breaths deep. Inhale back to center. Same again the other side. Another 2 breaths. Right arm comes across, left arm comes around the back. Exhale as you twist. And you can bring this hand on the thigh for purchase and twisting you around a little bit more if that feels okay. 2 breaths deep as you hold this pause. Inhale back to center for lengthen, swapping over. Exhale as you twist. Deep breath, one more. Inhale back to center. I'm going to walk out a little bit further if that feels okay. Feeling the stretch on the sides of the glutes, maybe the inner thigh as well. Belly comes onto the legs first, so we're not forcing the neck or anything. Hold for 2 breaths. Inhale back to center. So we walk the hands back, arms around the back. And then inhale, if that feels okay, you can go ahead and lift the hips, squeezing the bum cheeks together, or push the knees down. You'll engage your lower back as well, keeping tension in the neck. Chest proud, pushing that chest up to the sky. Feeling the tension in your glutes and your lower back. One more deep breath. Inhale back to center. Excellent. I'm going to mobilize the spine more into cat-cow next. So hands should be directly under the shoulders, and your knees should be directly under the bony parts of your hip. Spine comes to ceiling in a cat position. Just feeling the stretch on an exhale. Inhale into cow. Looking at the ceiling, moving shoulders up and down as you work through this motion of a cat-cow. Start off with a small range of movement, not forcing anything, and then as you begin to mobilize with the pelvis moving forwards and backwards, you can bring in more tension and release. Notice where anything feels tight. It's very deep in the base of your back normally. As you get older, inhale and exhale. Knees stay as they are, coming down into child's pose, extending the arms, and we can circle off them wrists. Feel free to stay here, or you can thread the arm underneath the other, pointing out and allowing a little twist as you look through that hole. Making sure your chest isn't collapsing down to the floor, but it's pointing to the side along with your arm. Deep breaths. Allow yourself to feel that stretch in the back. If you've done the twist, let's turn over. Inhale, back to center, and exhale, twist. Making sure you're not collapsing. Inhale, back to child's pose for 2 breaths. Allow your body to sink into the mat, melt. And the next inhale, back into 3 cat-cow. So exhale in the cat. And the next inhale in the cow, I'm going to push the hips back, good bend in the knee, extending the arms into extended child's pose for 1 breath. And on the inhale, back to cow. If that feels good, so you can just stay in child's pose or extended child's pose, or if you want to come into the downward dog, on the exhale, push your hips back and relax your neck between your elbows. So this can be quite challenging. It's a lot of weight in the upper body, stretching the hamstrings. 1 more deep breath, and exhale back into cow. I'm going to do that again. Exhale, hips come back. Feel free to go into child's pose, totally up to you. We're not forcing anything, just doing what feels good. Can paddle them feet out with a good bend in the knee. To make a downward dog easier, have more bend in the knee. Inhale, back to cat. We'll do another 3 cat-cow. Good. Making our way into a standing position as we begin to practice sun salutations. So if you want to get into a relaxation, meditative state, part of that is raising the heart rate. I'll do it the other side actually. And coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. So we're going to raise the heart rate a little bit, warming up the muscles and joints. We're just going to practice about 4 sun salutations. So spreading your feet like monster munch, small bend in the knees. We're going to do the adapted version of the sun salutations, just taking our time, distributing your weight evenly over your joints, making sure your pelvis is nice and neutral, rib cage in, belly button into spine. And let's just take 2 deep breaths as we prepare. With a good bend in the knee, we're going to make our way down, belly to thigh. Relax the neck into Uttanasana, forward fold. So relaxing the neck, and you can sway left to right if that feels good. Or if you feel dizzy, don't. It's a nice decompression of the upper to midsection of the back and neck. From here, placing our hands on the floor, our left leg comes back down into a bit of a lunge position, and you're framing your foot with your hands. So your knee shouldn't be over your toes, it should be sat in the middle as it adds pressure to your knee. You feel a stretch in the hip flexor. From here, you can help your foot through. I'm going to come into the boxed position. Untucking the feet from the knees, the heels. Chest comes down first, or come down whatever way feels comfortable to you, into Sphinx. Deep breath as you try and relax into Sphinx. Feel that stretch in the base of your back, shoulders down away from ears, elbows directly under your shoulders. The next exhale, we push back into child's pose. A deep breath. And the next inhale, our left leg comes forward, help guide it through into 8-point salute. Framing the foot, making sure the knee doesn't go past the toe. You're sat in the middle of the lunge, opens up the hip flexors nicely. Good. And the next inhale, tucking the toe underneath. We come through and we frame both feet with our hands into Uttanasana, good bend in the knee. Relaxing the neck and the hands. That's your first sun salutation. Keeping a good bend at the knee into a bit of a squat, shoulders back, and stand up to protect the lower back. I'm going to do that again. So we did the left side. This time we're going to do the right side. So good bend of the knee, hips come back. Uttanasana, relaxing the back and the neck. You can sway left and right if that feels good. Hands come next to the feet. Right leg comes back this time. And knee comes onto the floor. Framing your foot with your hands. Feeling that stretch in the back of the leg. And the next inhale into box. And make your way down onto the floor, however feels comfortable for you, into Sphinx. Deep breath. And the next exhale, pushing back into child's pose. And the next inhale, right leg comes forward, help guide it through into 8-point salute, framing the foot. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. The back leg, in the hip flexor. Tucking the toes under, and the next exhale, left foot joins the right. Uttanasana, good bend in the knee. Relaxing the hands and the neck. Bit of a squat or chair pose as you stand up, keeping the spine in neutral. Excellent. I'm going to do that once more. So one round is left and right side, so another two technically. I want to make it a little bit more challenging to raise the heart rate, so you can feel free to do that again, exactly how it was, or you can progress it a little bit with me. So on the next exhale, we roll down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands come on the floor, left leg back, plant that knee, coming into prayer, if that feels okay. Shoulders down away from ears, and that increases that stretch in the hip flexor and lower abs and that back leg. Next inhale, frame the foot again, right leg joins in plank or half plank, Kumbhakasana, deep breath. The next exhale, Chaturanga, hips stays high, and lowering yourself down as slowly as you can into Cobra, or feel free into Sphinx. Deep breaths. Feeling that stretch. Opens up the hip flexors and gives you a stretch in the base of your back. Tucking the toes underneath. Exhale to downward dog or child's pose. And the next exhale, bring your left leg where your hands are. Plant your foot on the floor. Prayer position to 8-point salute. Deep breaths, sit with it. Framing the foot again, right leg joins the left in Uttanasana, forward fold. Let's come up into Tadasana, mountain pose for the final time before we begin dialing things back again. Exhale, good bend in the knee, forward fold, relaxing the neck and hands, swaying left and right. Same again, but this time I'm leading with the right leg. Hands come on the floor, right leg back into 8-point salute. Prayer position option. The next inhale, bringing them hands down into Kumbhakasana, plank, rib cage in, belly button into spine, deep breath. One more deep breath if you can. Last time we're doing this. Chaturanga, hips stay high, leading with the chest if you can, into Cobra, untucking the toes. Keeping that tension around the shoulders, keep pushing your shoulders down. Inhale, tucking the toes under, downward dog. From here, right leg comes forward, help it through into 8-point salute. Allow yourself to feel that stretch in the front of your thigh and the back leg. And the next exhale, frame the foot with your hands, left leg joins the right. Uttanasana, relax. Good bend in the knee, chest up first as you rise to Tadasana. Excellent. Feel free to grab a drink. So make our way back over to the floor. I'm going to do some stretching next and relaxation. I'm going to guided relaxation. So it's coming down onto the floor, to the mat. Feet together. We're just carefully going to bring our knees out to the sides of the mat. I want you to have deep breaths, using that diaphragm to get that oxygen in. When we're super stressed or busy during the day, we tend to belly breathe and just use our belly to get that oxygen in, which fires up the sympathetic nervous system, sending us into fight and flight. So we're just taking a moment and we're actively, on the inhale, expanding the rib cage and using the diaphragm. Try and relax in this position and just be aware of any mild discomfort. It shouldn't be painful. If you've got 2 blocks, you can put blocks underneath your legs here for less of a stretch. Bringing the knees together. I'm going to walk our heels closer to our hips, our pelvis. We're going to shift our hips over to the right and our knees over to the left, coming into a spinal twist. So first of all, you want to make sure that your shoulders are on the floor, both of them. You should feel a gentle twist in your lower back. If you want to increase that, you can look the opposite way to what your knees are twisted. If you want to increase the stretch further, your option is to extend that top leg, and your arm closest holds onto the back of your thigh, and then just relax your arm. Adds more weight to that lower back stretch. If that feels niggly at all, just reduce that range of movement, come back to the previous. Take a deep breath, just settle into this position, spinal twist. On the next inhale, untuck that hand, move the knees over using the weight of your legs to twist your back over into semi-supine for a moment. Just let you settle back in to a bit of a prep position, and then we'll shift our hips over to the left this time so our knees can come over to the right. Again, shoulders should first and foremost be on the mat, and your knees and ankles and hips ideally should be stacked. If you want to increase the stretch, go ahead and bring your arms over to the opposite side. And if you want to increase the stretch, go ahead and extend that leg and grab hold of the back of the thigh, relaxing the arm and using the arm weight to relax into the stretch. Every exhale allows you to come in further into that stretch. And the next inhale, come back to center, semi-supine, moving the legs back over to center of your mat. So you can feel free to stay here, or you can go into Shavasana, which is the corpse pose. We're just going to lie here and prep for relaxation. Notice how your body feels now. Hopefully a little bit warmer, more mobile. I want you to use those deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And slowly out through the nose will bring calm and relaxation. It's very powerful. Just keep thinking and observing how your breath feels in your body and which parts of your body you're using to breathe. Make sure you're using your chest and your diaphragm, and your shoulders may be lifting as you inhale. Feel the weight of your body into the mat. Feel the heaviness in your arms and legs. Relax your jaw. Make sure you've got space between your teeth, and that'll relax your forehead and your facial muscles. And every exhale is allowing you just to sink further into the mat and the ground. Take your time rolling onto the side of your mat, and use your hands to bring you up into the seated position. I'm going to practice some pranayama relaxation breath work next. So if you come into any seated position that feels comfortable, we're just going to place our forearms on our knees, shoulders down away from ears, sitting tall. And again, observing our breath, making sure you're feeling your belly coming out, like relaxing as you inhale, like a big Buddha's belly, just pushing out your belly on the inhale. But you're also using the chest and your ribs, and you're bringing them out on the inhale. Big breath in and slowly exhaling for a count of 4. Inhale for a count of 4. Any count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we're going to inhale for 4, pause for 2 with those full lungs, and exhale for 5 if you're able to. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 1, 2, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once more, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming this morning. Hope you enjoyed it.